Welcome guys to another vlog here on Wolf of Dubai, your financial investing channel to make you the better investor. Now today we are looking into the Netflix earnings, and Netflix is one of the most beloved by me growth stories that I ever seen on the stock market. I love to see the earnings and always the surprises. The stock jumps on average 13% in either direction after the earnings. So let's see how this earnings went, and while the stock went up first plus 8% and just are up 1% only as of this recording. All of this here in this vlog.
Wolf of Dubai.
So first of all, the estimates were very low in my personal opinion for Netflix, because there's the streaming wars where a lot of new competition coming to the market, and I believe the earnings was okay. Nothing too great, nothing too big. So on the first view, it looks like the earnings per share was quite much better, 30% more than expected. But if you're looking into the details of the earnings, what we always do in this channel, you see maybe, or you have maybe seen that they put the marketing costs from the Q3 into the Q4. That's why the Q3 looks so good, though the revenue was a little bit less than expected, and the subscriber growth internationally was a little bit more than expected, so pro and contra points. So let's dive into the details. So let me go first into the, let's say, analysts' opinions of the Netflix numbers. So Guggenheim, for example, say these are very positive numbers. JP Morgan, which is one of the biggest investment banks on Wall Street, say that the growth is it seems to be intact for Netflix, and also they have a strong product with strong content, so they think that Netflix will do well in the next couple of weeks. Now we have to imagine that Netflix has the strongest international product, because doesn't matter if you're in the US or in Europe, you both can watch Netflix. So there's a huge international community talking about the content and everything. Everybody knows Netflix and can watch it everywhere in the world. So this is a huge advantage towards Apple Plus, Disney Plus, and so on, that they will start just in a couple of countries, though maybe the most important one like US and so on. But though the content for the Q4 for Netflix seems to be quite strong, also with Crown, Stranger Things, all this original series by Netflix that is only available on Netflix and that they spend billions on, is currently coming to the Q4 as a strong content. So let's dive into the numbers that they have announced. So first of all, earnings per share, this is what I said before, is 30% more than expected, to $1.47 versus $1.04 expected. So as I said, this is due to the marketing costs that they put over to the next quarter, and that's why it seems so good for Netflix on the first sight. Now revenue was just on point almost, with $5.24 billion versus $5.25 billion expected. Domestic paid subscribers addition is 517 versus 802 expected. So this is a big miss here on domestic. So US subscriber growth, so US demand should be somehow saturated. That's why the expansion internationally is much more important for Netflix in the coming weeks. And here you see that the international paid subscriber additions is 626 million versus 6 million, and 0.05 million expected. So also here a good beat, a very very good beat, about more than 10-15% more than expected. So while they're moving the marketing costs to the next quarter, to quarter number 4, they will report approximately an earnings of 51 cents versus $1 expected. So you see this big marketing cost that they will have in Q4 will, you know, reduce the earnings to a negative from here. Now let's dive after these numbers to the shareholder letter, which is, you know, made and presented by the CEO Reed Hastings, and he basically say that he definitely see the headwind coming. All right, he see the Disney, Apple, you know, HBO Max, NBC Universal, and so on. There's a couple of streaming services coming into the market, and of course this will be recognizable in this industry. Obviously, you know, even though Netflix, I still believe they have a very strong product. And if you're looking into the shareholder letter, which I will just read it to you, you will see that, you know, exactly this is, you know, reflected in the vision of Reed Hastings of Netflix. So actually he says that many are focused on the streaming wars, but we've been competing with streamers like Amazon, YouTube, Hulu, as well as linear TV over a decade, right? So the upcoming arrival of services like Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, HBO Max, and Peacock is increased competition, but we are all small compared to linear TV. While the new competitors have some great titles, especially catalog titles, none have variety, diversity, and quality of new original programming that we are producing around the world. So actually he is saying beside the lines that, you know, they have a great product, a great catalog, library of content, and I agree with that because, you know, they put like Disney, for example, right? They have like thousands of titles that they own that they can put on the library. But to be honest, do you want to see Aladdin or other Disney movies for the 10th time? You know, I don't know. And the first, you know, movies that will come out for Disney, I'm really curious if they're putting it directly on the platform or in the cinemas first, you know. So actually, you know, titles of Netflix, especially the original ones, are only available on Netflix and are getting better and better, you know. And this, you know, competitive advantage, the streamers like Apple TV, you know, have to, you know, move on and, you know, catch up, obviously because Netflix is in the game since a very long time already for streaming content. And for example, Apple just starting with $1 billion of spending into content and come with like 5-6 original series, while, you know, Netflix has maybe 30 to 50 series and tons of movie originally made and only made exclusively for Netflix. So this will be very interesting. And another thing that you know, is very important for Netflix is that starting in the fourth quarter, Netflix will break out revenue and membership numbers into several regions like Asia Pacific, Europe, Middle East, Africa, Latin America, US, and Canada. So we will know much better and understand much better the service and subscriber, where they come from, what is the biggest market for Netflix, where they will improve quarter over quarter. So I think this is a great, you know, transparency here for shareholders of Netflix, and obviously also of the people that are shorting Netflix, to see, you know, where this company have its weak points into subscribers. That is the most important thing for such a streaming service like Netflix. So all in all, as I said, I think the numbers are okay, nothing special, you know, due to the marketing cost that was moved to the next quarter. It seems to be a super great quarter. I think the most important thing, international growth, numbers of international subscribers growth is strong. keep on being strong. So I think, you know, it's going to the right direction. I think for the next 1, 2, 3 years, it will be really hard for this new streaming services to be there where Netflix is already. And I believe also that Netflix has a really, really strong product. So once subscribed, you are keeping just paying every month, you know, sharing your account with someone, you know, and just using it just because the other streaming service has a nice series. You don't, you know, cancel your Netflix and go to the other one, but you know, you maybe have 2 or 3 good entertainment sources every evening for your entertainment. So I believe, you know, because it's still so cheap, like I don't know, $15 per month, I think there's still much more room to grow for such streaming, though if you're looking now into the stock, which we will do right now, it's quite expensive. Okay, so a stock of Netflix will cost you around $289, and the market cap of this company is already $127 billion. And if you're thinking about where they come from, sending DVDs out to clients, you know, beating one of the biggest video entertainment giant that was out there, you know, a decade or 2 decades ago, Blockbuster moved and invented with the strong streaming service. You know, this is a super nice growth and successful story, and I think, you know, they doing many things right. But they are focused on growth, so that's why, you know, the PE ratio is phenomenal here with 110. This is very high. Though if you're looking into the year-to-date growth for the stock, it's around 8%. So I believe, you know, there's still room to grow. And I'm very curious how this will develop. And I think the most important for Netflix will be definitely to, you know, extend this original content, because I'm a Netflix customer, most probably same like you. And you, maybe if you are watching something and the series is done, you have to wait another year to find the next series episodes and so on. So let's say the time that you find really good series is taking still very long time. So if they can improve, like let's say every month, to put out 2-3 good series, because the series can be done and watched within a weekend, so you know, the time spent on Netflix can be limited. And you know, there's still so much to do out there, and they can also bring YouTubers, like for example me, and bring their own series out there. This is something I was thinking about, that there's still so many possibilities into the streaming and replacing TV on the long run. So there's still very much market to gain. Let me know what you think about Netflix in the comments below, and see you tomorrow, because I am vlogging every single day about finance, stocks and the market. So see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.